Welcome back. Let's talk Posh and Becks. I don't often get the opportunity to say that, thank God. But this is getting quite interesting, this Beckham family war. David Beckham, for some reason, is in Davos at the World Economic Forum today. He's at the World Economic Forum. You're right, are you, David? Could you spell economic? Doubt it. Let's talk to a media industry commentator, PR expert, and a very old friend of mine, Mark Borkowski. Hello, Mark.
Hi, Kev. Good to see you.
Good to have you on board. As I say, I don't often dip my toes into the murky world of showbiz these days, thank God. But this one, I've been bored witless by the Beckham family feud for now, what is it, 2 months, because Brooklyn, has sent his entire family to Coventry. He doesn't want to talk to them, blocked them on social media, and none of the journalists seem to be able to reveal what this was all about. Suddenly, yesterday, Brooklyn Beckham released this excoriating 6-page statement. People saying he didn't write that. Well, so what? He clearly didn't write it, but it was very well written. And basically, it ripped brand Beckham apart like a dose of salt. It was a forensic destruction, basically of his entire life. Brand Beckham, he accused his parents of creating a false, mythical image of a perfect family. He accused them of controlling his life, trying to ruin most of his friends. Look at it, massive statement. Most of his relationships, trying to ruin his marriage. This extraordinary story that at his marriage to the heiress, the billionairess, Nicola Peltz, that come the groom's dance with the bride, in stepped Victoria, the mother, and stole the bridal dance. That's been denied, and then it wasn't denied. We're back and forth all over the place. But what I think was the most interesting, Brooklyn says, I believe the truth always comes out. And the narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I've been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I am not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. And he said that, the truth means nothing to Posh and Becks. The only thing that matters to them is the creation of a kind of perfect family image and the constant promotion of brand Beckham, to the point that when he said I was going to spend the rest of his life in America with Nicola Peltz, they tried to get the rights to his name, which he refused to give them. But boy, oh boy, did he go for his parents, and it certainly took the shine off that carefully created brand Beckham, didn't it?
Well, it's a sort of ravings of spoilt child, isn't it, really?
I totally disagree. I totally disagree. I think he's a young man. He's a young man emerging from the coercive control cocoon.
He's nearly 30.
Yeah.
He's nearly 30. Young man, nearly 30. He's enjoyed 30 years of this privilege. He's shacked up with...
Well, that's not his decision, is it? He didn't ask to be Posh and Becks' son.
Well, and I think that...
he didn't like that life, and they didn't like the fact he didn't like it.
How many times have we encountered this fractious life of a celebrity child? It goes on to time immemorial. The Barrymores, look at Liza Minnelli, look at what happened to Judy Garland. It's toxic fame, Kev. At the end of the day, this isn't real life. And I do think that Victoria and David tried to protect them from that because they went through it. Now,
by posting pictures of them as babies and little kids all the time on social, by invading their children's privacy, posting them all over social media. Aren't we a brilliant family? You think that's protecting their kids, do you?
I am not here to defend Sir David and Lady Beckham in terms of their pursuits.
You mean Posh and Becks?
Yeah, Sir Posh and Becks.
Yeah.
Look, I think that we see this all the time. We're feeding on this. There's a feeding frenzy on this story. There was a news vacuum for ages, which most of the tabloid press plundered because nothing was said about this rift. There was sort of silence.
But they didn't seem to be able to find out what it was all about, did they?
Well,
I mean, the lack of revelations in the press about the reasons for this split have been astonishing. Only yesterday, when he finally broke his silence and released that statement, did we find out what it was all about. It's about a guy he feels clearly that his entire life he is being coercively controlled on the sacred altar of brand Beckham.
Well, that's his truth, as they say in this modern time. But do you not see the similarities that we have seen with Harry and Meghan? The only mistake Beckham has made at this point is that he hasn't done a book deal. He hasn't done a deal with Netflix, and he hasn't plundered this. I've noticed in The Sun tonight there's a story that in fact this so-called video of the first dance after he got married, which was stolen by Victoria, and she danced on him. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I wonder what that meant. Yeah.
But they have the video, and you just think that must be the most sought after video since the sex tape of the Kardashians. So I think that what we have here is a media frenzy. He's sticking the boot in, just as Harry did. He must be taking notes from what Harry did. And I think ultimately he will come to regret it, as Harry's come to regret it, because he's fired his best shot. What's next? I think the Beckham brand is a juggernaut. It will carry on. It will survive. It's obviously wounded. This was a nuclear charge. But I think the fallback will fall back on him. And I hope he goes on for what he's seeking, Kevin. He's seeking privacy. When have you heard that? How many times have you heard that in your life? Well, I'm seeking privacy. He didn't want privacy not so long ago, and he certainly doesn't want privacy over this. So this is a commercial piece of grifting here to make as much noise, and I'd be fascinated to see what happens next, because I think you touched on it, which is interesting, is every Beckham has a trademark. All the kids have a trademark. His trademark is running out.
Yeah.
And clearly they wanted to sign him back up. So will we see a new Peltz Beckham brand? What they were doing? I mean, he's hardly gifted, is he?
No,
as a person,
no, he's not.
He's tried everything, and I think that this is all pretty sad.
Well, his dad's a good footballer, but he's hardly gifted either, is he?
Well, whatever. He was a very gifted footballer, and he's gone on to sort of build something.
Yeah, he's got good managers. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Don't start saying David Beckham's a genius. I know David Beckham.
I wouldn't say that. But you know, Brooklyn Beckham has got clear on 17 million Instagram followers. That's one hell of a platform to do something.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to know. You can see what's happening here. There's a whole industry gathering around him. The Peltz family are very, very.
He's been sucked
successful.
into Peltz territory, hasn't he?
Yes,
very much
into Meghan territory as well. And I think we got to look at the human cost of this.
Good point.
Let's look at the human cost of this. He will come to regret this at some point, and I think any family rift is made worse by it being, in full public view. And who are the winners out of this? Every news outlet across the globe who will be sucking every last bit of clickbait out of this, and he's handed them that data goals.
If Mark, it's true, and it seems to be, that Victoria Beckham stole the bridal dance, and instead of stepping onto the dance floor to dance with his new wife, Nicola Peltz, in stepped Victoria to dance with her son. That is deeply weird, isn't it?
Well, it depends.
That is deeply weird. That is deeply weird.
I'm going to give you. Look, I'm not an apologist for the Beckhams on the side, but I'll give you another scenario. What happens at weddings? I tell you what happens at weddings. Too many people drink too much alcohol and they do some really crazy thing. That's where we get the term dad dancing from. And we've all
But
seen
you don't
weddings.
think it's a bit weird for a mother to steal the bridal dance from the bride?
Oh, well, she
come
was
on, Mark.
obviously
That is
loaded.
weird. That is deep
wanna see
space
the video.
weird city. That is deep space weird city, and you know it. That is strange.
I want to see
that
the
is
video,
strange. Well,
I want to see the video.
yeah. Well,
Come on.
by the way, I should say that story has been denied. It was denied yesterday. No, that's not true. And then today, people who were at the wedding said, no, it is true. So the truth.
Yeah, look, well, it's Fat Tony, the famous DJ's partner, isn't it, who was the DJ at the wedding. I mean, there's loads of people diving in. Of course, what we have now is sides being taken, and everybody be positing their view, and it'll keep the story rolling for 3 or 4 days, and then give it a week and we've forgotten about it, unless there's some corkers still hanging around that are going to be delivered to generate the sort of clickbait everybody is actually genuflecting at.
Yeah, all I know, Mark, is the fact that I no longer have to report on that awful couple.
Well, you miss it, Kev. You missed it.
No, you do not know. You cannot estimate the levels of joy I feel that I don't have to care about this crap anymore. Although the statement yesterday, because Henry and I, my wife, we've been laughing about this story for months about how boring it is, the Beckham family feud. It's been a big joke in our house. And then suddenly last night I saw this statement, I said, do you know what, this feud may have just got interesting. She went, yeah, this is interesting. So it did take it to a new level. I wonder what the next step will be. But thanks, mate. Good to hook up with you again, and about time we had a drink. All right?
Always up for it, Kev. Good to see you.
All right, Mark. Take care now, mate. That's Mark Borkowski, media industry commentator and top PR publicist, old friend of mine, as you may have worked out.